Hello everyone, I'm Ron Grant coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands. You're watching 284 Media. The Spirit of Rugby meets the British Virgin Islands, a partnership between Mail and a number of contributing sponsors, which introduces for the very first time some persons and some children to the sport of rugby. I'm joined by one of the founders of Mail, Mr. Henderson Tittle, along with the team visiting the Virgin Islands who are going to be collaborating and conducting the almost 3.5 weeks of participation and initiatives. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break. Some claim that the age of a true gentleman is far behind us, but we disagree. He may appear in different guises today, but the values and ideals that make him a gent still stand. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman by yours truly, Ron Grant, presents Season 6. Introducing Sheldon Fred, actor, film producer, writer. Daylon Vantapool, entrepreneur. Terrence Neal, creative director. Chad George, entrepreneur. Humphrey Liu, financial services professional. Jamali DJ Molly Thomas, sales manager. Kai DeCastro, entrepreneur. Dean the Sportsman Greenaway, journalist. St. Clair Steady Fleming, entrepreneur. Devon Cowell, brand specialist. Robert Green, footballer. And Rick S.S. Grant, author, The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, coming June 5th, exclusively on 284 Media, inspiring a generation of greatness.
Start the year off with more. More speed, more downloading, more savings, and more Fire. CCT Fire Fiber Internet gives you the speed you need to keep the whole family connected. Packages starting at $119 with speeds from 300 megabytes per second, super fast, unlimited downloads, even more reliable connectivity, plus free live streaming TV for the family to enjoy. Sign up for the absolute best fiber internet service in the BVI, CCT Fire, and pay no installation fee. Plus, get CCT Live TV for free. You deserve more. Get more with CCT. Life Unlimited.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for sticking with us. As promised, we are talking all things rugby, the spirit of rugby, that is. Mr. Tittle, welcome back to our platform, and thank you for your time.
Well, thank you, man. I'm no stranger to 284, and I'm happy to be here.
You're most welcome. Now, tell us about this initiative. I'm not sure if you are like me. I know very little about rugby. So enlighten us on this initiative that will really introduce, for some, the first time, this sport of rugby.
Well, I work for SHRM, and Reed, who is our general manager, one day was talking to me, and he mentioned about a friend he have visiting the BVI and who is a retired rugby coach. So I said to him, ain't no rugby coach coming to the BVI and we don't find some work for him to do. Mm-hmm. So let's organize something and let's put on something while he's here. He can have a vacation, enjoy himself, but also he will leave some of his knowledge with the youths of the BVI. So that's basically where this is coming from. We decided let's run 2 weeks while he's here, take him around to the different islands. And that's where this is coming from, the Spirit of Rugby.
Beautiful. Now, I'm happy that you mentioned all over the Virgin Islands, because this is to be held at locations throughout the territory.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Tortola, Virgin, Gorda, and Anegada, am I correct?
And Jost Van Dyke.
And Jost Van Dyke as well.
Right.
So all of our 4 main islands get an opportunity to experience the magic.
That's right.
Okay.
And we're not selfish. We want to make sure that everybody get a taste of it.
All right. Now tell us about some of the expected activities. Of course, it's centered around rugby. What are some of the areas that are expected to come out of this?
Well, it's not just the sports of rugby, but also when I spoke to Norm, who is our visiting guest, he mentioned some of the core values that Mail basically build a foundation on. Integrity, trust, teamwork, sportsmanship. So it was easy for me to go with it because it kind of highlight what we stand for.
Understood.
And what we're building on. So it's not just the rugby, and he will speak more of it when he get the chance. But so it's also to teach our youths that discipline. If you know and you say you don't know much about rugby, but there must be a level of trust. Because if you have the ball, the players are coming at you, your partner have to make sure that they protect you. So then you have to have people around you who you can trust. So it teach also your company, who you associate yourself with. So there are some things that we can learn from rugby also that can take us throughout life. So it's not just playing the game, but also build that camaraderie, that trust, that intelligent, make you wise, because then you have to think if you're going to play this game.
Understood.
So it's a holistic game.
Wonderful. So this is being held from the 17th of July to the 10th of August. And some of the aspects, of course, not only to learn the skills of rugby and the values, teamwork, manners, like you said, respect, overall self-improvement, making new friendships, having fun, and for some who may want to stick around and continue the sport, it's a beautiful introduction.
So this is it, because there's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of opportunity, and Victor, who also represent the Rugby Association and work with SHRM, who been playing rugby for a while, he will brag about how he went places like Hong Kong and all these places. So there are opportunities. I'm looking also where scholarships can come out of this. Norm might be the one to open the door for them. So there's a lot of opportunity that can come out of this event. I think we'll be able to see some of our young folks and see what they are doing. Also, SHRM, who is our platinum sponsors, have decided to award at least 5 of the youths with a voucher. I can't tell you how much, but it looks good. Okay. I wish I was in their position. So there's a lot to take away from it. And
Understood.
Then we will see those who are interested, those who like the game, and then make the opportunity and create that for them.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to meet up next 3 of the persons who are going to be instrumental in really propelling and taking this program to the next level. But I want to make sure that the audience understands that this is a fully sponsored, almost 3.5 weeks, no cost to the children.
There's no cost.
Okay.
But if there are parents who feel like they want to make a donation, MAIL is a non-profit organization. So if you feel like making a donation, then go right ahead, make the donation. We know it's going to come go towards a worthy cause. But for this event,
correct,
there's no cost. Even when we go across to Anegada, some of the students, we're taking some of the students with us. When we go to Jost van Dyke, we're taking some of the students with us. We go to Gorda, we're taking some of the students with us. That is also paid for and taken care of.
Wonderful. Well, before we go and before we meet the 3 experts, I want to give you an opportunity to thank any of your contributing partners or sponsors.
Well, SHRM they are the brain. They're the brain behind this whole thing. And then I want to say thanks to the Rugby Association. They allow us to come on board and literally ride on this, because MAIL is not a rugby club. MAIL, I don't think we know anything about rugby per se. But the opportunity was there, and we decided to work with it because it's going to help our young folks in the long run. It's all about collaboration. Indeed. Where we work together. And I want to say thanks to SHRM, because they're the one who is really behind of this whole thing and making it happen for us.
Wonderful. Well, I want to thank you for your time. And viewers, up next, we are going to meet the 3 professionals, rugby professionals, who are going to be in the territory, of course, imparting their wisdom and knowledge in the Spirit of Rugby 2024. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break. Some claim that the age of a true gentleman is far behind us, but we disagree. He may appear in different guises today, but the values and ideals that make him a gent still stand. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman by yours truly, Ron Grant, presents Season 6. Introducing Sheldon Fred, actor, film producer, writer. Daylon Vantapool, entrepreneur. Terrence Neal, creative director. Chad George, entrepreneur. Humphrey Liu, financial services professional. Jamali DJ Molly Thomas, sales manager. Kai DeCastro, entrepreneur. Dean the Sportsman Greenaway, journalist. St. Clair Steady Fleming, entrepreneur. Devon Cowell, brand specialist. Robert Green, footballer. And Rick S.S. Grant, author, The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, coming June 5th, exclusively on 284 Media, inspiring a generation of greatness.
1.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here. My name is Kamal Haynes. Most of you know me from 284 News, but now you get to see me in a different light on my very own show called Health is Wealth. We have Joel Turnbull.
I don't want you to arch your back when you're pulling down.
Milton McLean.
First of all, right, your footwork.
Steve Augustine.
You did a pretty hard workout today, so perhaps...
And as you can see, it's actually...
Alonzo Boynes.
Taekwondo.
Adam Murrows.
I'll speak as if you're an absolute beginner.
I am an absolute beginner.
You are an absolute beginner.
And Seth Brame.
It bites.
It will bite.
Get your water, get your fruits and veggies, and experience a wealth of knowledge about getting healthy.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for sticking with us. Of course, we are continuing the conversation of the Spirit of Rugby 2024. I'm joined by 3 rugby professionals. Beginning to my right, I'd ask you to introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Kassira. I am here to support my brother with the rugby program he's running here.
Yeah, Norm Maxwell, so I was ex-rugby professional, did some rugby coaching also, and just most recently doing some charity work with some children around the world. And so, yeah, looking forward to my trip here in BVI.
I'm Victor Amparo. I'm currently a rugby player for the BVI team. I'm also a staff member of SHRM, which is the current sponsor of this summer program.
Wonderful. I'd like to welcome you guys to the Virgin Islands, and of course, Victor, you as well. Thank you for being here. I want to talk about this initiative. It gives, for some students, this would perhaps be their very first time being introduced to the sport of rugby. Norm, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah.
What do you hope this summer camp can bring to the youth of the BVI?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I think I've got the pleasure of doing this with my sister, you know, so I sort of see the rugby and the rugby community as a family, you know, so I would like to, for the kids that come, they can feel welcome and a place to sort of relax and enjoy their time, you know.
Okay.
Obviously, one thing is we want to teach them a little bit about rugby. It's an introduction to rugby. We're not going to teach them the tackle, the big, you know, that's sort of further on down the line, but we're going to teach them like a more gentle version, which is sort of it's called touch rugby.
Okay.
So it's just a touch, and then you go on from there. You know, it's not like the big sort of tackle. So it's open for boys and girls. You know, both sides, because they both play rugby. The women's game is really getting stronger and stronger globally at the moment. And Mr. Tittle, as you were saying before, like the things that come along with rugby, the teamwork aspect is are very important, and just how a little bit about self-awareness as well, and how to like one thing I like to say is like learn how to calm your own waters under stressful situations, and I think sports can provide an opportunity for that, sort of to learn about sort of things, making mistakes, losing, sort of challenges, and how to sort of navigate your way through that. And so if you can do it, you can learn to do it on the field in a sort of confined space. You can also take that off the field into your everyday life, you know, because we all have
absolutely
problems and make mistakes and have challenges in our life. So you know, you just sort of use rugby as a vehicle to be able to support the youth to do that.
Wonderful. I love the phrase using rugby as a vehicle, because as you all know, sports has opened quite a bit of doors for a number of young people.
Yeah.
And I also love the fact that you said it allows them to channel a certain type of energy into the sport. Q, I want to continue with you. As a female, the diversity of the sport, as Norm said, we now see where girls are holding their own with the sport of rugby. In the past, it was always kind of seen as a male-dominated sport. Tell us about that diversity and what you have learned and seen it develop over years.
Yeah, well, when I was younger, I didn't remember seeing any women's rugby team. And now in New Zealand, the New Zealand women's rugby team is just as popular as the male, if not more popular. So I have my son is in a team at home, and half of his team is female.
Wow.
So
they play together.
They play together right up until they get to high school. So it's very unusual. Like the popularity is
It's growing.
growing very fast. And I'd never known there to be a team 50% female. So
Amazing.
It's really
Amazing.
cool to see.
Yeah, I've recently, just to add to that, I recently visited a project in India. I've been playing rugby there for a while, and there was one village there that it was a remote village that in the tea fields, like 10 hours drive from one of the major centres, and they wanted to put on the local pastor there wanted to trial rugby in that area. And so what they found, so they just took a couple of coaches there, and the kids come out, and the kids came there, and what they found is that the girls were the ones that were keen in that village, but there was a bit of a challenge from the parents because they weren't sure about like their daughters playing rugby and that, and so the coaches went around and talked to each of the parent and sort of said, oh no, it's this, we're looking after them, and they'll be okay and all that. So they allowed them to play. And at the end of that, I think they had like I think it was maybe a 3-week training program they had there, and those group of girls went to the local tournament and they came like 6th out of 12. And then from there, that village is renowned for their women rugby players.
Wow.
And a lot of them, like Mr. Tittle was saying as well, it opens up doors that they could never have had. And so a lot of them got out of the village, they played for their country. You know, they got to play for their country and travelled overseas. And for like these communities that don't have a lot of money, it really changed their life. You know, and so
Terrific. Yeah.
But the girls are like they're fierce, man.
Wonderful.
Tough. Really tough.
Yeah.
Amazing. And Victor, you have been a rugby player for a number of years. You play for the BVI rugby team. What have you enjoyed most about the sport over the years?
Playing it with team, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay.
Team character development, you know, like the more you show up to training, you know, the more you learn with each other. So it's not a one-man sport, so you gotta have the team with you at all times. We were never good, I'm not gonna lie, you know, until we all started showing up to training, and we won a cup. I think back in 2015, we did win a cup for, you know, Caribbean tournament, and that boosted the rugby here in the community. At the moment, we kind of lost our RDO, or Rugby Development Officer. So by August, we should begin someone to substitute him. So till then, we've just been training by ourselves. So
wonderful. And what do you want the youth of the Virgin Islands who are going to be coming out to this camp? What do you want them to keep in the back of their head as they approach this new venture?
As Mr. Tittle said, there's a few doors that could be open for them.
Okay.
Also, it's a wonderful sport, especially if you enjoy it, you know. But yeah, technically, just know that there's a door open for opportunities everywhere.
Wonderful.
You get to travel. Just remember that. You get to represent the country as well. So what else can you ask for?
All right. And I have to ask you, because you you are an employee of SHRM. Why do you think it was so important for the company to really project this initiative as a corporate support?
Well, the owners of the company, they actually met each other and became friends through rugby.
Okay.
They've had a 30-year plus association with the BVI. Rugby has been a long-standing supporter and sponsor. SHRM has been a long supporter and sponsor of the rugby. So when we met Mr. Tittle through the Grace Messenger service, you know, he talked to us about what he does, so on. So we kind of sponsor him, and you know, he was grateful for it. So that's when Reed was like, let me bring our next friend in, and we're here now.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Reed's he's actually from the same areas that we're from in New Zealand.
Okay.
So it's quite a small world, really.
Excellent. And Norm, I want to close with you. What do you say to the parents and students who are going to be coming out as it pertains to their expectations of this camp?
Yeah, well, that's an interesting one. I think that we want everybody to sort of enjoy themselves. I think that's the bottom line, you know, to come out and have fun, and just to be open to learning new things. I think that, like I talked about before, it's we see it as a family. We see whānau in in New Zealand.
Beautiful.
And we would like to operate that way.
Understood. Well, I want to wish you both a safe and enjoyable trip, and thank you for coming and sharing your expertise with us. Again, the Spirit of Rugby 2024 is being held from July 17th to August 10th on all main islands, Tortola, Virgin Gorda, Jost, Dyke, and Anegada. Youths will all have an opportunity to immerse themselves in this sport for the very first time, many of our young people. This is an organization being supported and sponsored by SHRM as well as MAIL, of course, and in association with the BVI Rugby Association. Congratulations on this initiative. Thank you guys so much for your time.
Thanks for having us.
You're most welcome.
Thank you.
Viewers, that's all the time we have. Have a beautiful rest of the day. Goodbye.